Okay, guys, so to start designing the homepage, what we need to do is to just, go to pages over here. Okay, so hover on pages and then click on all pages. Now you remember that I've already created the homepage over here. Okay, but there's nothing on it. So I'm going to take you through so that you see how it looks like. So this is the homepage of the website, but there's nothing on it. But we want to make the homepage like this one. Okay, like this one. So we want to design it and make it like this one, so that whenever somebody use a website address and then URL and then enter it on the browser, it's gonna open this one for the person. Okay, so that is exactly what we are going to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the pages over here, and then we're gonna click on edit the home page. So we are going to edit the home page. Okay, so we're gonna edit the home page so that we get a very nice customized design for ourselves. So I'm just going to redesign the same thing as I did for the first one, so that you guys will know how I did it. Now you can choose a template for it. You can go over here and then select the template, which is what Elementor full width over here. Okay, just select this template and then maybe update it. So now after that, just go to edit with Elementor. Click on the blue button which says edit with Elementor to edit the to start designing the website with Elementor. So we're going to design the website using Elementor page builder. Now for those of you who don't know Elementor page builder, I have done an intensive video about Elementor page builder. I'll put the link in the description so that you guys can go and then watch it and then know everything. But then it is very simple to use. Elementor is made up of widgets and then just some structures and other stuff. Okay, so you can select a structure, okay, and then drag in a widget in it, and that is how it is done. So for instance, when you open it, this is how it's going to make. Now this is from the Royal Elementor that we installed, Elementor add-on, and then this is from Code Designer. Okay, so all this, and this is one from Elementor. So with this template over here, you can decide to add any template, pre-designed template that either Elementor or Code Designer or Royal add-on for Elementor have already designed for you. Okay, so if I click over here, it's gonna take me to Royal Elementor. Now some of them are free, some of them are not free, and then you can just import them. Okay, if I click on it to view it, I can view the way it looks like, and then I can just go ahead and then click on insert over here, and then this one will be will be my website. All what I need to do is just edit the content in it, and then I'm good to go, and that is it. But I'm not going to use any of these ones. Okay, the same applies to Code Designer and then the Elementor folder over here, but I'm not going to use any of this one. All what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight and then design it from scratch. So the first thing that we're going to do is to design the hero section over here. Now forget about the top over here. The top, we do it in the customization section, but with this one, what we're going to do is we design the hero section over here, and then we design this section over here, and then we're going to design this call to action over here, and then design this book section over here, and then also another call to action over here. Okay, and that is all what we're going to do. Now after that, then we do the header and then the simple footer that we have over here. So as simple as that. So what we're going to do is if you look at this one, this hero session, we have the background and then some few things written over here, and then we have read a book over here. Okay, and that is what we're going to do. Now I want to pick the font size and then the font style, everything over here. So what I will do is I have some extensions installed over here. Okay, so I'm going to just go through and then what do I need? Okay, so first of all, I'm going to use the color picker over here, okay, to pick the color over here so that you guys will know the color I used. Okay, so with this one I just select it, and then come over here, click on it, and as you can see, I can get the color over here. Okay, so this is the color that I use, so I'm just going to copy it and then save it in a text form over here. So I'm going to search for text. Okay, let me just open this one and then click over here and then click on new, and then I'm going to paste this one over here. So this is my color. Okay, now I will come back over here and then close this one. Okay, so now I have my color done. Now I need to pick the text. Okay, so the text style and other things. So let me go to what font. Okay, so if I want to know what exactly the font that I use, now if you go over here, I'll see the font over here. So the SMYTHE. Okay, that is what I used over here. Okay, and this one is what Montserrat. Okay, so as you can see, this one is what Montserrat, and this one is what SMYTHE. Okay, and that is what I use. So SMYTHE, and then I also use what Montserrat. So basically these two fonts. Okay, so I will just write the font over here so that I wouldn't be going ahead and then checking it. Okay, so the font for the hero is SMYTHE, and then the font for the text and body text, everything, the button text, everything is Montserrat. Okay, so Montserrat. Now these are the two fonts that I'll be using throughout. Okay, so basically that is it. Now that I have this one done, now I can go ahead and then come over here and then start to design it. So I'm going to pick a 2-column structure over here. So I'll click on the plus and then pick this 2-column structure over here, these two things over here. Now if I click on it, you see that this panel will open for me, which says your edit session. Okay, so I'm going to edit this session over here. So what I will do is I want it to the height to be a minimum height. So I'm going to set some min height over here, and then I'm going to set it to 700. Okay, so I'm going to say 700. Okay, so that it's going to be bigger. Now after doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on style over here, and then I'll go to the background, choose a classic background, choose an image for it, and then I have to drag in my images over here. So I'm going to select my images and then drag in. So this is the images that I used. Okay, now don't worry, I'll give all these images for you for free. Now it's New Year, so everything I'm doing over here, I'm giving it for you for free. Okay, so I'll give it to you for free. You guys are my loyal subscribers, so I'm going to give everything that I used in this website for you for free, so that you can download them for free. Okay, after that, just check the link in the description, and then you can get all the images and everything that I use for free. So now that I have this one done over here, I'm also going to go back to my library over here, and then drag in my logo also in it. Okay, I'm going to drag in my logo in it. I'm going to go back over here, and then again, I think it's all fine. Okay, so after dragging my logo, I don't know why it's like this, but let me just refresh it. Okay, let me just reload it so that this glitch will go. Sometimes it happens when you are dropping it and you don't take care, it gives you that kind of blue screen glitch. Okay, but when I refresh it, it's going to go. Okay, so this is the draft that I got over here. So if I click on this 6 dots over here, it will open the edit session for me over here, and then I can go back over here and then select the image that I wanted to select. Now I don't want to just use images. Okay, I want to use slideshow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to slideshow and then drag in some images, or copy some images. So I'm going to copy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's say there's 5 images over here, and then I'm going to go and then choose gallery, or create gallery. So these 5 images over here is good to go, and then I'll click on what, insert over here. So now guys, I have these images done over here. Now I'll come to the images side over here, and then with the background I'll say it is what should be cover, and then with the position I'll say center, okay, so that it's going to be what, very nicely done for me. So if I do it like this is how it's gonna appear, okay, just like the way it appears over here, very nicely. Okay, so that is it. Now I'm going to copy this text over here. This text, I'm going to copy it and then come to my Elementor over here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this plus icon over here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a heading, text over here, widget over here, and then paste in the text that I copied. Okay, so as you can see, I have this one over here. Now what do? What I do is I go to style over here, to style. Okay, change this one to what, to, let's say, white. Okay, I'm going to change this one to white, and then let me go back over here, and then you see that there is what, a kind of like a dark overlay on top of the images. Okay, so what I'm going to do is before I even style this one, I'm going to go to the 6 dots over here. Okay, so let me just click on this 6 dot over here, and then go back to the edit section over here, and then I'll scroll down. Okay, now you see this one which says background overlay. Just click on it. Okay, now if for those of you who knows, who have been using Elementor with me, we've been going through all these things countless times. So what we have to do is, just after selecting the background, you can choose the normal or the hover, and then with the background type you can choose the classic or the gradient. But I'm going to choose classic over here, and then I'll use a color instead of an image. So I'm going to use a color over here, and I'll give it to a dark overlay. Okay, so a very dark, I'll pick a very dark color, that is a black color. Okay, now of course I can go ahead and then increase the opacity. Okay, you can decide to increase or decrease the opacity anyhow you want it. Okay, just for the for the words to really show. Okay, and that is why I did that. So after doing this, I think it's enough. All what I know, 72 is the opacity to be 72 is okay. Just click on this pencil icon over here to go back to the editing of this text or the styling of this text. Now we are going to go to style over here, and then with the typography, we're going to choose the typography that we selected, this one over here, the font, which is the SMYTH. So we're going to search for the SMYTH over here, and then we use this one. So as you can see, this is how it is. Okay, now we will increase this one to 55. I think 55 is quite too big, so let's say 45. Okay, so 45 is okay. And then with this one which says semi bold, we're going to go back to normal. Okay, so we use the normal one for it. And then if you want to transform the text, style it in different way, decorate it in different way, it is up to you, but I'm going to leave it as it is. Okay, so if I go back over here, this is how it's going to be. But since I don't want the doctor to be disassociated with the Zeus, I will just come over here and then increase it a little bit. Okay, increase it a little bit to, let's say, 47. Okay, so now I would still decrease it because I want them to be in the same line. Okay, so yeah, so this one I think is quite okay. So this is quite okay. So let me see the size. The size is 43. Okay, so 43 is quite okay. Now that I have this one done, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this. I'm going to click on this 9 dot icon over here. Okay, the grip icon over here. Just click on it. Okay, now I'm going to drag in a button over here. So I'm going to drag in a button over here with this button. Now you see that there is a button over here which says read a book. Okay, so I'm going to do same over here, and then right over here, read a book. Okay, so now we have to style it. So with a read a book, I'm going to send it to the library page over here. Okay, so I'm going to send it to this page over here. Okay, so I'm going to say, let's say, shop, and then see if the shop will open. If the shop doesn't open, then I'm going to write library, and then I'm sure I'm going to get this library page over here, which is this one. Okay, so now that I have this page over here, so I have linked it, okay, to this button over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to style over here, and then style the text, the button. Okay, so now as you can see, the typography is Montserrat. Okay, that is the typography that we use. So I'm going to use Montserrat. Okay, this one over here, which says read a book. And then with the font height and all those things, you can decide to play around it. With the font size also, you can also decide. So I'm going to use, let's say, 18. Okay, 18 is quite okay. And then with this one, you can decide to go either 600. Okay, so that it will be a little bit bolder. And then with this one, we're going to copy this, color code over here. Okay, so we're going to copy the color code and paste the color code over here to give us that red fill. Okay, so now you see that we have the red color over here, but then the button is different. You see, this button is a little bit bigger. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to play around with the padding. Okay, so I'm going to remove all the padding. I'm going to give here, let's say, 15. I'm going to give the bottom also 15. Okay, I'm going to give the bottom also 15. Then I'll give you a 20, or let's say 50 or 40. Okay, so that will be a little bit bigger. I'll also give you a 40. Okay, so as you can see, we have bigger. So if you want, you can give you let's say 20. Okay, depending on how you want the button to be like. Okay, so you can choose any size that you want. So I think this one is quite okay. And then I'm going to go to the typography again, and then instead of 18, I'm going to say, let's say 19, 20, and then over here I'm going to come to normal. Okay, and then let me just increase the size a little bit to 24, 25. Okay, so 25 is quite okay. And then I'll come over here, and then as you can see, I have the same thing over here. Okay, so I have the same thing, just the same thing over here, and that is how I created this hero session. So this hero session is done. Okay, it's done. Now let's go down over here. So I'm going to update it. Now remember, anytime you create something, update it so that when something happens to your machine, you're not going to lose it. Okay, so now that I'm done with the top over here, now I'm going to come to this slider over here, this product slider or book slider over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to here over here. I'm going to click on this grip icon over here, and then I'm going to look for the royal the royal product slider or carousel. Okay, so this one is what I'm looking for. So you can use the post grid or the wool grid. So I'm using wool grid, okay, because I'm using the product. So I'm going to drag in this one over here. Okay, so just copy and drag, okay, over here, and as you can see, you're going to have something like this. Okay, very nicely done, very neatly done. Okay, so depending on what you want, you can have it over here. So now we have to look at the layout. Now with the layout, what do we want? So we want the layout to be to be a fit rows equal whatever it is, and all those things. And then let's go through it and then see how it looks like. Okay, so we want it to be a product carousel or whatever it is, and we want to see how the layout is also going to be like. Okay, so with the element over here, so we're going to remove some things from it, and then we're going to remove the add to cart. We're going to remove the price. We're going to remove the rating, the title, okay, the product category. Okay, so now we have only this ones over here. Okay, so making it a little bit similar to what we want. Okay, so now let's go through the settings over here. So with the filters over here, so if I want to show filters, I'm going to come to the filters over here, and then I'm going to come to the filters. So I'm going to come to the filters over here, and then I'm going to come to the filters. So now if I want to show filters, so if I want to show filters, I want to delete the filters. Okay, so I don't want any filters to come. Okay, and then with a product, how do you want it? You want it to be categories and all those things. You can show it. And then with the animation and paginations over there, you can use whatever you want. Okay, so with the pagination over here, you can see it over here, all over here. Now let's go to the layout again, and then I'm going to choose this one which says the slider. Okay, so I'm going to use this slider over here. So as you can see, guys, this is what I wanted. Okay, so slider stroke carousel. Now we're not going to use the masonry, okay, or the fit rows height and all those things. What we are looking for is the slider. Okay, so that is exactly what we wanted. Okay, the slider. Okay, so we want it to be something like this. Okay, something like this, and we are getting it there. So first of all, let's make sure that we remove the certain things that we don't want from it. So we want navigation, which is an angle. We don't want pagination. Okay, so pagination, we don't want pagination. Okay, so infinite loop and all those things, you can leave it as it is. Now that we have this one, even this one, you can even select the number you want it to show. Okay, whether 2 or 1. Okay, so I want it to show 2, and then slice to scroll. So you can decide to how many slides do you want it to show. The 2 is okay, and then with the spacing, okay, which is this one, you can check it out. Okay, so I'm going to leave it as default as it is. Now that I have this one done over here, now what I'll go is I'll go to the style over here, and then I'm going to style it the way I want it. Okay, so what do I need? I need only the how do I call the navigation. Okay, so I want to just style the navigation. Instead of the blue color, I'm going to use our color that we use. Okay, so with this one over here, so as you can see, we are having this color, but with this one we're going to reduce the opacity a little bit. Okay, yeah, so I think this one is quite okay, and that is it. Okay, now you can even the hover, you can make the hover rather deeper, so that when somebody hover on it, it's going to be deep. Somebody hover on it, it's going to deep. Okay, so now I think we are good to go. We can update this one over here because we've done the changes that we want. We've done the settings that we want. Now let's click on the the 6 dots over here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to give it advanced settings. Okay, so we're going to go to advanced over here, and then we're going to give it padding top and down, or you can decide to give it margin. So let's give it a margin 50 top, 50 down. Okay, 50 top, 50 down. So let's say let's just say 90. Okay, so guys, as you can see over here, this is exactly what you're gonna have. Okay, so you don't worry about this glitch. Now when you view it in the in the raw side, you are going to see where we are. So let's just view it and see how it looks like. So as you can see, this is how it looks like. Okay, in the website itself. Okay, now this is sometimes Elementor have that kind of glitch. Okay, over here. So if you want to get rid of it, you can just refresh it. Okay, and then I'm sure it's gonna go. So let me just refresh the website, and let's see what happens. Okay guys, so as you can see, after I refreshed it, this is how it has become. Okay, back to normal, back to where it is. Now let's go to the next session over here. Now with this session, we have a motivational power books, and then we have this thing written under it, and then we have this how do you call it, button over here. So we're gonna what we're gonna do is we're just going to copy this session over here. Okay, so I'm going to copy this session over here, and I'm going to paste it over here. Okay, now the reason why I'm going to do that is I'm just going to just do some small editing on it. So I'll click on this one, which is the edit session, the 6 dot over here, and then come to the style over here, and then instead of the slideshow, I'm just going to say classic, okay, and then I'm going to give it just one. So let's see the image that we use. So think and grow rich. So we use this image over here, and that is it. So this one, and then we're gonna come back to over here. We're gonna make it center. We're going to make it let's see if it is okay. So it is sticky over here. So what we're gonna do is the attachment, we're gonna make it fix, so that it will fix over there. And then with the repeat, we say no repeat. With the size, we're gonna make it cover. Okay, so now that we have this one done, now we can go to the layout. Now as you can see, this is too big. Okay, so we can reduce the size of it. Okay, so let's say 400. So 400 is quite okay. Okay, so 400. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change this one, change this. We're gonna change this one to motivational books, powerful motivational books. Copy this one, come over here, and then just change this one, remove this one, and paste this one over here. Now I'm gonna come over here and then copy. Now of course you can, I'm just copying because I'm just showing you how you'll be able to add text and other stuff to it. So over here underneath, we want to add a text over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this 9 dots over here, and then I will drag in a text editor. Okay, so just drag in a text editor over here. Okay, and then you have this default text in it. Just remove it and then paste in your text, or type in your text that you want to others to read, or want it to be on your website. And then go to style, and then you can style your your text. Okay, so as you can see, we can change the typography, change the colors of it, change this one to Montserrat. Okay, so we're going to change it to Montserrat. Okay, so as you can see, it is done. Give it let's say 18. Okay, so I think we are good to go. This one too is done. Okay, so as you can see, we are all good to go. This one is done. Now what I'm going to do is, there is this gap over here. Okay, so I want to remove it. So I'll click on over here and then go to advanced of it, and then there is a padding. Okay, so I'm going to remove that kind of padding. Okay, so I'm going to give it a negative 20 at the bottom. Okay, so now it's not a padding, it's rather a margin. Okay, so let me just cut this one, go to the margin itself, and then paste the negative 20 over there, and see, as you can see, the margin is gone. Okay, that space is gone, and that is okay. So I'll update it, and then we are good to go. So now the next one is this one over here. Okay, with this books over here with prices over here, and that is exactly what we are about to do. So over here, what we are going to do is we're going to add a new session over here. We're going to add a single column session. Okay, we're going to add a single column session over here, and then let's see how this one works. So there are spaces and other stuff over here. So with a single column session, we're going to give it a minimum height. Okay, and that is what we want. Now let's go to the this script icon over here, and then we go to code designer over here. Now we're going to use either this or this. I don't remember which one I use, but you can use any of them. Okay, depending on how you want your design to be like. So I'm going to use the shop classic first. If it doesn't work for me, then I'll use the shop standard. So as you can see, the shop classic is what I used first, and then it didn't work for me, and then you can decide to make it this way, the way you want. But you see, I didn't want these things over here. Okay, I just wanted the price, the borrowing price, and then the how do you call it, the title of the book. Okay, just like that. Now I don't want these plenty things to be here. I just want it to be like this design over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this one. So let me just delete this one, and then I'll come look for the shop standard rather, and then drag in this one over here. So as you can see, this is what we have. Okay, so this one too is not what I really want, but let me try and see if I can do some changes in it. Let me give it a 3 column. Okay, and then let's go to here and then see what we can do. So okay, let me go to the card over here. Okay, so guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this one. Okay, I'm going to remove this one and then still use the shop classic. Okay, I'm going to come over and then do some tweaks and other stuff about the shop classic. Okay, so we have the 3 column, which is exactly what we want, and then you know, we will have to take out some things that we don't want. Okay, so we want to hide this one. Okay, and then let's see the layout also. Let's make it this way and see. So this is how it's going to make, and then with the wishlet we're going to remove it from it. Okay, so as you can see, we are having exactly what we wanted. And then what again do we want to do? We don't want any pagination. Okay, so what we want is we just want 6 books to be here. So guys, as you can see, I have this one, but this text is too big for me. This text is it's too big for me. It is too big for me. I want to reduce you know, the spacing in it. Okay, so that I get text which is all the same in the same line. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to you know, the style over here, and then with the card I'm going to leave it as it is, but I'm going to come to first of all I'm going to come to the product price. Okay, now I want to change this one to this particular color. Okay, so I want to change this one, paste this color over here so that it will be red, just like the way we have this one. Okay, now with the product title, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it as black, but I'm going to change the size to, let's say, 14. Okay, now 14 is quite okay, so let me see how it behaves. Okay, so 14 is quite okay for the product price, or let me make it, let's say, 15. Okay, so 15 is okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down. Now as you can see, we have line spacing over here. Okay, so I'm going to close the spacing. I'm going to close the spacing, so let me just increase it a little bit to you know, 2. Okay, so this is quite okay. So as you can see, all in the same line. Okay, all the texts are in the same in the same line, and that is what I wanted. So now I have this one done. Now the next one is this. There's, you know, this space is too close to this side. Okay, I don't want it that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this 6 dot over here, go to advanced, and then under the advanced section I'm going to you know, give a little bit margin for it. So I'm going to give top and down 50. Okay, which will be quite, or you can, let's make it uniform, just like this one, 90 90. Okay, so now that I have this one done, I think the last one left for us to do is this one. Okay, so now we can go ahead and then you know, create our next session. So with the next session, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this one. So I'll copy this one and then come over here and then paste it over here. Okay, so guys, what is in the next session? This one, just this one over here, this text. Okay, it says just one small positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. Okay, and that's exactly what I'm going to paste over here. So just one small thought, positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. And I'm going to delete this one from here. I'm going to delete it, and then I'll use the same book that this person also this website used. So I'm going to click over here, come to the style over here, and then choose an image, and then the book that they use is what, this one. I'm going to use this one also. Okay, so as you can see, this is the book that they used. Okay, so now this one is not what, it's not scrolling. Okay, it is what, it is just there. Okay, so I'm going to what, remove the fix and make it what, default. Okay, so as you can see now, everything works what, perfectly well. Okay, so I'm going to what, update it. And now if I go over here and click on refresh, now I have what, a fully made what, home page designed perfectly for what, for my book website or my library website. So as you can see, it is what, it is perfectly done. Now we are done with the home page. Let's move on to the next one.